missing the point. Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins. Because oh, it's a beautiful day.
Hey friends, and welcome back. Today I will be compiling a lot of video footage that I have been taking over the last few weeks of work we have been doing to Cluckingham Palace on the inside, getting it ready for our chickens, because I actually did a thing on my birthday. I had to run to Tractor Supply to pick up a couple of things, and I walked out with chicks. Totally wasn't in my plan. I have 13 chicks coming from McMurray's hatchery, and they're coming in like a week and a half. So I'm going to have like a 3-week age difference between the two batches of chicks, which is going to be fine. They're all going to go in together. There shouldn't be any problem with that. But because of that, and because time is running out, I have to get Cluckingham Palace. All right, now, like I said, this has been going on for a while. So the hair color swaps because of it. But I just have so many projects going. I have to get done what I can get done when I can get it done. And this is what I've done. Let me show you. So to start off, my very dear friend Christy had suggested to me that I take the side door and make it look like the full front door I put on the front of the coop. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and I have everything that I need. And just for the record, this door is the wonkiest door ever in existence and is not the permanent one for the structure. But for right now, I can fix it and make it look so much better than this by using things I already have right here on my homestead. I had some existing old paneling which wasn't in the best shape but would do perfectly for this project. So I basically took the measurements of the door. Remember, it's not square, so it's not going to come out perfect. And I cut the paneling to fit right directly over this wonky door on the chicken coop. I pre-drilled holes in the 4 corners of it, and I just have Nicole helping me hold it up into place so that I can get it attached to the existing door now. I used the exact same paint I did on the faux door, which thankfully I had enough left over. And I ended up actually giving this door 2 coats to get the maximum coverage on this ugly old paneling. And I think it actually looks great. And I love the fact that it kind of really does look like wood boards put together to become a door, even though it's not. But that's the whole point of doing it on a budget and tricking the eye. And I think we accomplished that here. Now, because nothing is square on this, I did have to improvise a little at the top to make sure that you couldn't tell that it wasn't completely square and didn't completely cover this wonky door. But it was a super easy fix, again, using some extra trim boards that I already had lying around. And by attaching them to the top like this, you can't tell one bit that this door is not square. It actually looks really good. I did go and purchase the exact same hardware I put on the front faux door, but I did buy it in a larger size to compensate for the scale of this door versus the front, because this door is much larger and it really, really does look nice. I'm really loving this door, even though it's not permanent. It's fabulous for now. Now, because nothing is square in this coop, especially the door, there are some spaces and drafts, and I have tried regular weather stripping, the kind that has like the foam that you stick there, and it just hasn't worked. So I ended up finding this product on Amazon, and it's been like truly amazing. You just staple it where you want it, and it covers over those gaps, and it has truly kept the rain out. I'm sure it's going to keep the snow out since it's kept the rain out, and it was just a really good investment. It did not cost that much money, and I'm actually going to put the link below in case you're interested for your own chicken coop in this particular weather stripping. I added the decorative slats to the top and bottom of the door, just like in the first faux door I had done. And now I just need to get a coating of that gray color on them as well, and we are done. I am so glad Christy pointed out the missed opportunity to make the doors match, because I really think it does make the coop look so cohesive now and so much better on the outside, and I'm really just loving it. I really am.
Oh, it's a beautiful day.
Hi, come see Mama. Come to me, my boy. Come on. Oh, my baby. Hello. No, Yukon. This is my baby boy Yukon, huh? He found me 4 years ago when I lived in an apartment in the city, and I took him off of the streets and gave him a home, huh? You Mr. Fuzzy Pants. Oh, you're so happy. Yes, you are so cookie. Hello. Did you give everybody kisses? Yes, you did, you silly boy. All right, Mommy's gonna get to work. Had a surprise in my coop today. My husband had our handyman come and put the window in for me. Not as big as that one, but it's still way bigger than that tiny thing that came out. So now we are ready to move on to the next part, and we are ready to finish this wall. I'm so excited. We decided that insulating the coop would be a great idea since we live in New England, and I firmly believe it will make a huge difference in the summer and in the winter months. But because nothing is square in this chicken coop, it was rather difficult. I had to cut the pieces approximate and then trim them off in place. But I have to say, using the foam insulation made it super easy to get each piece to fit perfect and snug in its own customized space. This whole wall is completely insulated. Next. Scott and Brian went to work figuring out all the measurements because remember, nothing's square, so it is difficult, and completed this entire wall. So now the coop has all of its new walls in there, and he can move on to doing the trim work. Now, for the trim work, we are also recycling, reusing, and repurposing by using something my brother had given us, and I'll show you that in a minute. Great use of a resource we weren't using anyways. Walls are completely done. 2 brand new windows are installed. Flooring is complete, including over the wheel well. I still don't know what I am doing up there, but I have time to figure this out. And I need to finish off the cubby, and then he can move on to trimming all of the pieces off so they have that finished look.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
So the repurposed trim pieces are actually this composite decking that slides together. Each end is angled and they lock in place. And Scott just ripped them down to the size he wanted and custom made all the trim in the coop for absolutely nothing. Scott thought the supports that hold things together around the door were a little bit too loose for his liking. They could wiggle a little bit, he said. So he is just adding some reinforcing 2x4s to make the structure much sounder. And in fact, it really does make it that much stronger. I didn't realize that it wasn't strong to begin with, but thankfully he did. I checked what I had in my own house and my own supply, whatever was left over. And if you've been with my channel, you may have seen my mini kitchen makeover there with a new facelift, which included some Benjamin Moore paint in the shade of Halo, which is like this really gorgeous neutral, very neutral shade of gray, and I actually love it. And I have a ton left. Guys, I mean, this stuff is like, I don't know, $70 or $80 a gallon. I'm not wasting it. So that's what's going to go into the coop. I do need to find a white that I want to go around the trim because that is the color I do think it's going to end up being. I'm still not positive. I've been trying to think of colors that could potentially work, but I mean, maybe it's just best to keep it white and simple. It kind of would totally match the windows, you know. If you keep it white, all of it goes together. So I'm actually going to get this busted open, give it a good stir. It's been sitting for a year, and then we're just going to start getting it on the walls and seeing what it looks like. And I'm really, really, really excited. I really am. The end is in sight. All right, let's get to painting.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
It is mind-blowing considering the state the coop was in when I got it. There were no walls, it was all studs, the floor was spongy, 2 tiny windows, they were like maybe that wide, but it had potential, it had the bones, it had potential, and I saw that. And now I'm actually making my little chicken coop dream a reality, and I think it's gonna be absolutely adorable for my birds.
With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh,
Do you guys like painting? Is that something fun for you? I actually don't mind painting, not at all. Well, as long as it's like, you know, not something huge. Do you do it? Do you have somebody else do it for you? Who does the painting in your household when it needs to get done? Let me know down below.
don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight.
What a difference using that color Chantilly lace by Benjamin Moore on the trim. I mean, that looks gorgeous with that light soft halo gray that's on the walls. That's also Benjamin Moore. And you know, it just makes such a difference. It's such a finishing touch. This is obviously the before. We're gonna do this one last. So all we have left, and our coop is almost done. We do still need to trim out some stuff in there, but it's looking good. Because I have 20 birds, I wanted a way to be able to open up my coop without worrying about these young birds who don't know what to do yet, running out the door and running amok and me not being able to catch them. Well, I had the screen left over from a gazebo I bought that the wind took out and it's no good anymore. But thankfully, Scott saved the screen. And I had this idea that we could mount it on a bar, almost the idea like a shower curtain, and pull it back and forth, attach it to the walls, Velcro it to the floor, and I would be able to separate myself from the chickens with about a 2-foot space when you open the coop. And this actually worked out fabulous. This was also another great use of resources, using stuff we already had that was sitting there waiting for a new purpose. And boy, did it get one, and it got a good one. I love this idea.
Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
I found these great curtains at the thrift store and I thought they'd be perfect for in here, but I actually didn't like just one on each window and I only had one pair, so 2 panels. But I had an idea and a pair of scissors. I used a nice sharp pair of scissors and just cut each panel right down the middle, which created 2, and they are perfect for inside the chicken coop. I have the rough edges on the outside, but if I really wanted to get fancy, I could totally bring it inside, throw it on the sewing machine, and give it a finished edge. These curtains only cost me $3 at the thrift store, and I absolutely love the colors that they have in them, and I think it brings a lot to the coop and to the space, especially with the gray walls and the white trim.
but can we just talk about this fabric for a second? Because I love the print. There's lambs, there's roosters, there's goats. It's old world looking, and I just really fell in love with it. I think this was an absolutely great score, reasonable price, and definitely exactly what the chicken coop needed. Like, just look at that. It's gorgeous. I love it. And I think looking at it from a distance, like I said, the color that pops off of those curtains, especially the green and like the maroon, is what I really see looking in. It looks absolutely wonderful against the neutral colors of the backdrop of the coupe. It's a great, great accent. Keeping the vibe of like the antique-y, shabby chic-y, natural decorating theme that I'm kind of doing in the chicken coop, I decided to use these wooden baskets that I got from Michael's as my nesting boxes. I'm just having Scott remove the two top slats. I'm going to keep the two bottom in there so that way the eggs don't fall out and the hay won't get pushed all around everywhere. But Scott's actually going to double these up. They're going to like piggyback each other, and he's going to do that using the slats that he removed, one right on top of the other. It's ingenious. He did a great job. And then I found these amazing, like AstroTurf kind of squares that fit perfectly in here. I did have to cut them to add to, the space that was lacking a couple inches, but they look really good. And what I like best about this is I can actually take it out of the nesting box and wash it, so it's way more sanitary. And that's a huge bonus, especially with chickens, because if you know anything about chickens, they just constantly poop. I had these two really expensive pieces of art for my house, but after I put them up in my home, I realized it kind of really didn't go with the decor and the look I was going for. So I took them down, and they've just been kind of waiting for a new home. And I actually think the chicken coop is a perfect place for them. I know y'all are thinking, what are you doing? You're going over the top, but this is my vision. This is what I've always wanted. I want a super adorable chicken coop that I made, which is almost like a little she shed for my hens. And we have all the stuff that's not being used, so why not? So I am going to actually put up both pieces of art in the chicken coop, and I think it's super, super appropriate for the space. The colors go good. It adds something to the wall, but hey, it gives the chickens something to look at too, right? Everybody enjoys some fine art.
I'm excited. I think the artwork looks great. As you can see, we got it right. So far it's looking super cute in here. I'm loving all the little touches. It's a chicken coop, but come on, it's gotta be a little extra. Y'all know that's how I am. So let's get back to decorating it.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. We don't need no can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more.
This is the box that Scott built for the babies to go in. We're going to put a screen here, and it has a top with a screen, and this is how we're going to integrate the new babies with the older babies. I think it's going to be just fine, so that's what that box is all about, and my chicken coop looks amazing. I love it. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, what do you think of my coop? Do you think it came out good? And these are the lights. They have plug-in lamps. They have what looks like a pulley, so they look very industrial, and I thought they'd look great. And I love the shape of the shades. Like, that is total chicken coop to me. The light's the final thing that needs to go in there, but today is in fact eviction day from the house for the older chicks, and I can happily say welcome to your new home, little ones. It's definitely much fancier than most coops.
These are our 12-day-old babies that came from McMurray Hatchery. We have some Americanas, some black Australorps, some buff Orpingtons, and a surprise chick. So I don't know what that one will be, but they seem really happy in their enclosure, so that's a bonus. And these are my 6-week-old pullets that I get from Tractor Supply. However, 2 of them are actually not pullets and they're roos. And all I have to say is, well played, Tractor Supply, well played. So they've been in here for a few hours. Everything seems good. I'm going to shut the door and check on them in the morning. It's the next day, and I would have to say it actually went well. I did not have my camera with me when I first opened the coop up to get the girls out, but they were all together, all at that little piece of fencing on the edge there, checking each other out, getting along. No one was trying to fight or get through, so I am super, super happy. The babies are happy. My ladies are outside getting some sunshine, and they seem happy too. It still has a few more things to go, but for the most part, I am done.